What's up, guys? Studfit here. Another episode of Kart Talk. I am joined by so many good friends and some new faces to the channel, but you may be familiar with their names or from other channels, aka even the FrenzyFans. Some cameos here, but welcome to have you guys in a very unique situation. We are recording this in the final, I guess, 24 hours of this tour. So we'll actually be kind of shifting some of the questions. Some will be about the tours we're in or the tours coming up, but they're going to be more focused on high-level topics that really, transcend any tour that we're in. And also kind of talk a little bit about the fest that we know going up. So this is going to hopefully be relevant, not just in this cat tour, this baby tour, but in future tours as well. So definitely strap in. Who knows how long this will take? I think we've even mentioned going well over the 2 hours. So we'll see how it goes. We have a lot of questions to get to, though. So first, some introductions to our team. There's some familiar faces. We got FrenZgrind and Hero join us for their third episode. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Same. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. And then we have FrenzyFans Boy, who is solo, but this is his 33rd episode. So welcome again, FrenzyFans Boy.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's going to be a fun guys' night out tonight.
Lots of testosterone, that's for sure. But and full transparency, some of us may have a basketball NBA final game in the background. So if you hear random cheering, that would be why. But I mean, ultimately, the reasons that they're on here is due to Super Stud membership. Hero is filling in for this be Chris, who had a situation come up pretty abruptly. So Hero is pretending to be a Super Stud for the day. So welcome to have you guys three. And then we have two new guests. Both of them on the West Coast. We have Raz, aka viejomillenial.
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me.
And then we have BigBroLo. What's up, man?
Hey, man. Actually on the East Coast, but no one's counting.
Okay, my bad.
Go Celtics!
Oh, that's right. We have some Celtics fans in the house. That's so. If you hear some extra cheering, that's why they're doing that. All right, cool. So we got a really awesome icebreaker, but I want to get started with our brand new guests here. So we'll start in reverse guest order. So BigBroLo. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in Mario Kart Tour, what brings you the most joy, and then just as an icebreaker, this one was given to us by BRadGeo, who says, if you were stuck on a deserted island with one city driver, again, you have to kind of think about which city drivers there might be, who would it be and why? He'd pick Yoshiroo to get the coconuts off of the trees with the boomerang, which is a fun little question, a fun little answer. But BigBroLo, I know it's a loaded question there, but kick us off, man.
City driver. Let's see. I'm going to have to say Bernie from Singapore tour.
Oh yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. He's cool. He's he's just always bebopping around, and I'm a big fan of the boomerang skull. Boom boxes are kind of my thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
As for the first question, I got started in Mario Kart Tour somewhere around, I missed the first two Hanafudas. I don't know exactly what tour that was, but that's when I got in. That's how I measured my entry point in the game. So,
you didn't pull in the Hanafuda pipe? What were you doing?
No.
God, no. Don't go there.
The Hana trash pipe.
Hana trash.
But I come from a game, Dr. Mario World. If anybody remembered that game, so when the Dr. Fest happened, I was like, cool. Why don't they just take my account from Dr. Mario World and import it, and I'd have max level doctors.
Nice.
So way back with Dr. Mario, I was part of a team that broke the gacha. So we found a loophole in the game where we got infinite amount of in-game currency, so we were able to drain everything. So I had max doctors, max assistants, maxed everything. And then after that, I kind of got bored because having maxed everything just got boring. And then that led me to Mario Kart Tour.
Now, is this the game that they shut down like a year ago?
Yeah, probably because of myself.
Probably because of you. Yeah.
Nice.
So would you say boomboxing brings you the most joy right now, or what do you?
Yeah, boo boxing is definitely like the high point. I mean, coin boxing to me has kind of become store boxing. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. But boomboxing just adds that little extra element, that thrill. Like when you got the driver set up and then you're in that right position and you just get the the boomerang frenzy, and then you see like that one coin box driver in a distant pop. It's like the greatest feeling in the game. You just go and you just instantly got like 100 actions and not even completed the first lap. So, and then it's just, at that point, it's just maintain, don't get sniped, finish first. So.
Yeah. He's like the Steph Curry of Mario Kart Tour. Yeah. Cause that's all he does, but he does it extremely well. You gotta love that. Cool. Raz, talk to us, man. If you were stuck on a desert island with one city driver, who would it be and why? And then jump in to tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, as far as the city driver, I was gonna pick Bernie as well. Basically because he'll make it a vacation. He's stuck on an island, so why not? As far as playing the game, I started, I think, in the Tokyo tour. So I missed the New York's minute tour. I played all the way until the first Easter tour. I think that was Yoshi Egg Hunt. And then I took a long hiatus from there and picked it back up in the winter tour with Penguin, Toadette, Penguin Toadette. Okay. And since then, I've been playing very consistent. So just, the best part of the game for me is probably ACR, just like trying to get all those courses and just trying to, play everything. That's what I like the most. The rank, it's fine, but I'm a little bit of a whale, so makes it not as enjoyable.
Yeah. Do you go for top 100 or top 1,000, or is there a top 10?
Top 1,000 right now. My account isn't built for a top 100 right now.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe one day. I feel like there was a moment where, say, Hero, you said, I'm not going to probably get top 100 ever, and here you are, finished top 25 here recently. Yeah, I mean, did you ever think that before, where like top 100s for like these super whales who just pay for it all or something? Like, what? Tell us a little bit about your ACR progress, just briefly.
If you were to ask me like a year ago that I would be getting my first top 25 badge, I would be laughing so hard, because at that time I had a different perspective on ACR. So yeah, I mean, I don't like to brag about it, but yeah, I did get top 25 last tour, but it was a bit of a heart attack, because in the last day, I think Studfit, you were literally grinding up to like my limit. I was like, oh my God, please.
We're friends in the game, so I politely kneeled on the 1 yard line. So, but I mean, it's not because I could have passed you or wanted to pass you, but I mean, I was pretty ecstatic for you. I think also Liam Helock also finished in the top 25 as well. So both of you guys, kudos to you guys, first timers in the top 25, and we had a couple good friends that did it for the first time, and ecstatic there. I even see. Now, I remember, a year ago, probably even less than that, Wootmoo got his first top 100, and now looks like he's going for top 10. Wish him the best. So I hope he pulls that out. But ultimately, it's I think top 100, top ACR in general, it's just so much fun. And once you get hooked on it, it's hard to pull away. You're just like, now I got to get top 50. Now I got to get top 25. So it's a lot of fun. FrenZgrind, I know you have I think somewhere in the 40 top 100s. How about Hero, I apologize. Didn't get to let you answer the question. If you were stuck on a desert island, Hero, with one city driver, who would it be and why?
Yeah, I guess I would pick Mama Peach Vacation, just because it would be me and her, and hopefully if I wear like a Studfit shirt or like a FrenzyFans Boy shirt, maybe she'll be so blush. She'll be so happy with that. So
you got it. I mean, that's really a good answer. You can't argue with that. Z, man, I know you've got a streak going for top 100. What's ACR like for you?
Well, ACR is different for me. I got a wife, a family like you. I got a busy job. So I'm top 100 all the way. I've gotten multiple top 50s, and I don't have a top 25 yet. I tried once a few tours ago, but I decided to try 3 days before the tour ended, which was stupid. So I ended up at 27. But you know, it's okay. I just don't have the time. So I'm happy with my top 100s. One day maybe I'll have the time and I go on vacation or whatever. But you know, ACR is fun for me. You know, we get to see different courses. You know, you don't stick to ranked. You know, you get three courses and that's all you see. ACR is fun. You know, we see different courses as we go along. It's great. So you know, I really promote it. I think it's a great thing. I get people don't have the time. It's cool, but you know, as I'll get into my advice later, it's ACR is a great thing. So you see different tracks, you get yourself used to getting more EXP, things like that. So, you know.
Yeah, solid advice. Talking about vacation, if you were stuck on a deserted island with one city driver, who would it be and why?
That's easy. I'm going Waluigi bus driver because I love bananas. I love bananas, and he's going to supply me endless bananas. So
that is true.
That doesn't sound very good, but you know what I mean.
Jeez, that's, man, you guys are just,
Do you have the matching plaid pants?
I like that potassium. What do you want?
Yeah, the plaid pants to go with the bananas. I gotta like that. FrenzyFans Boy, what's ACR like to you? I know you've got a top 100 a couple times. Is top 10 ever in your future?
Yeah. So like right now, I frequent the top 1,000. Right now, it's kind of like if there's a Bowser tour or like a badge that I'm really excited about, then I'll try for the top 100. Top 10, it is kind of tantalizing. I'm not sure if I end up saving like 150 of each driver, cart, and glider ticket. So like in 3 years, I might be able to like unload everything on one tour and have like complete 8s and triple uncaps. Or by then it'll be like all 10s and quadruple uncaps. And then maybe we'll be able to make a run for it. But no, and yeah, it's just it's fun. And I kind of like whenever there's a specific type of tour that gets me excited or animated or wanting to kind of push for that I end up doing that. So
nice. And if you were stuck on a deserted island with one city driver, who would it be and why?
So I'm pretty sure this counts as a city driver. I was actually looking back in the app to make sure, but Mario Sunshine, he was a city driver, right? His very first course is an LA course, right?
I missed him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's classified as a city driver,
LA,
right?
yes.
He is, yeah.
So it depends if we're going off of is Meowser a cat theology, but yeah, I'm with you there. I think he's a city. I think he's a city driver. I'll give you that.
Driver, yes, he is.
So I'd have to go with Mario Sunshine because he doesn't get enough love, and like just his whole vibe is just nothing but like just be
relaxing.
Groovy, yeah, like relaxing. Which I think we can all use a little bit of every now and again in life. So
he's already got the sunglasses. He's already chilling, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And he's got even more potassium. That is for sure. Yeah, man. For my answer, I think we've named some boomerang in addition to the Yoshiroo that BRadGeo decided to use. But I mean, Voldendam has boomerang as well. So I'll stick with that just to even out the answers. But yeah, I think I kind of pivoted a little bit just to talk about ACR. One of the reasons we're recording this on a Monday night, way after normally we would, like 3 or 4 days after we normally would, is because I was on a trip for work that I also used for kind of extended and was able to enjoy a resort down in Charleston, South Carolina. And so I basically did my 3-day all cup ranking grind the first weekend instead of the second, and it was in first place for a day or two. Again, it didn't mean anything because it was midway through the tour, but it was kind of fun, just like people reaching out and be like, dude, are you doing top 10 or and ultimately for me, I love that, like the intense, like I gotta grind this, and for me, it's like I can get top 100 with like 85, 90% runs, which I love doing. But like trying to get 95%, trying to get 100% on the all cup ranking sheet, that's actually like mentally exhausting, because you could get a good run and then you just don't get anything on that last box, and you're just like, geez. And then you do it again, and you don't get on that last box, and then you do it again. You got a double coin box, a single box, and you're like, I just need one more single box, and then you got to do it again. You got to do it again. You got to do it again, and it's just for kudos to, and that's why I have so much appreciation for people who don't have always the loadouts, but get that 95% on that on the DKR spreadsheet, and because that's I mean, they're basically getting a top 10 run with my account. But getting top 100 with a lesser account. So kudos to those who have done that. I have so much respect for you guys. All right, cool. So again, we're not only talking about the Cat Tour. We're not only talking about this upcoming Metropolitan Tour Fest, but I think the rest of this episode will be similar to what we've talked about so far, which is high level stuff that transcends other tours. But I do want to touch on the Cat/Baby Tour that we're in right now. There's a couple things I just want to discuss with you guys. The first thing is actually a comment from Sammy D. So I haven't always done a great job of reading all of the comments on my videos, but this past week I was reading through a few, and one came anytime that Sammy D for Cart Life puts a comment on your channel, you kind of grabs your attention. But he said, I mentioned that the Cat Tour was a filler tour, and this is a hot topic. We've discussed filler tours in the past, but I think Sammy brings up a good point. He said, yeah, Studfit, you're killing me with the filler tour bomb in the first 10 seconds. And capital N-O, no tour with a new retro track is a filler tour to me. It's that simple. The term filler tour really came around in year 2 when the game seemed to be spinning on its wheels, revisiting old tracks or RT variants with hardly any new content, and the use of the term has gotten out of hand. Just because we've been spoiled with plus skill drivers, fests, and longer, more epic retro tracks doesn't mean that a normal tour is a filler tour. No matter how boring Baby Park is, or even if it's not perfect for Mario Kart Tour, it's still a Hall of Fame retro track and looks phenomenal. There was a time when even getting this track would have been a huge deal. Sorry, got triggered there and had to call it out. We'll love calling it out. Appreciate that, Sammy. So the question is, we've discussed filler tours and their definition in the past. Is the Cat Tour a filler tour?
Absolutely not.
I agree. It's not a filler tour.
If you're giving me two, I don't care if they're reskins. If you're giving me 2 new drivers and you're giving me a new track, a new retro track, it's not a filler tour. I don't care how bad the packs are. I don't really care about that. We've had tours in year 1 and year 2 where they just gave us no new drivers and no new tracks, and they just doubled up on the drivers. What was it? The Dry Bowser, and then the whatever tour that was, the Versus tour, where they gave us double
Bowser versus
double
DK.
Dry Bowser, and that's a filler tour. I know Cat Mario and Cat Luigi are not good drivers. They don't have good skills, but they're new drivers, and some people out there are big Mario and Luigi fans who are gonna love those drivers, and they're gonna pull for them regardless. So, and yeah, I don't love Baby Park. I don't love Baby Park R. I think it's a trash track, but I'm not gonna call it a filler tour. It's a new track. It's new drivers. I can't go filler. I'm sorry, I just can't.
All
Everyone's
right.
gonna have their own opinion on filler, and that's fine. But for me, it's not a filler.
Any other plaintiffs willing to state their case before we get to the defendants? Hero, you agreed?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Sammy was saying. This tour to me wasn't a filler tour because, again, we got a brand new track and brand new drivers. That's what Z said. What I considered filler tour is obviously when you have RT variants. Like, for example, the Samurai Tour, we had, what was it, Wario Shipyard RT and Bowser Castle RT. I consider those as filler tours because it's not new courses, new tracks. It's more of just they're adding an RT variant. It's kind of like the past rally tours, like in Toad versus Toadette, we only had 2 RT courses, So I consider that as more of a filler tour, personally.
So more to do with the tracks is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Okay. What about you, Raz?
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not a filler tour. It's new content. So, if it's new content that you've never been able to play on the game, then how is that a filler tour?
Fair enough. I might be by myself after we get around here. BigBroLo.
So I don't agree. I mean, I agree that it's not a filler tour. The only caveat I can add to that is they did reuse the theme of cats already. So you can kind of like squeeze that into like, a filler possibly. They could have done something more, maybe made it the baby tour and released baby themed, characters and stuff like that to fit the theme more freshly. But other than that, you got a new track. I know it's lackluster skills, but it's not a filler tour. It's not a rehash of RMXs and remixes and stuff like that.
All right.
I think the best thing that you could say is that it's a savings tour, because for most people, they're not going to pull, but not a filler tour.
Nobody drained the pipe here?
I had to drain some pipes.
I'm not going to say no, but
I had to drain a pipe because Jeeves said that if I pulled on this special pipe, he would demember. He would stop his membership. So I've been pulling on these higher pipes.
That sounds painful.
Demember.
You drained it for coins right after you said that. Get out of here.
I need coins, man. It's so tough. Like just getting the tier shop alone is over 100,000 coins, and I can't pass up on those level tickets, man. Getting things level up to level 8 is excruciating. FrenzyFans Boy, though, you jumped in. What do you think, man? Is it a filler tour or is it not?
Yeah, so I don't want to be like the one guy that backs up Studfit, but first, I think it's more of a definition.
It's the first time for everything. Come on, man.
I think it's more of a definition thing, because I agree with what everyone said, definitely. But when you came out with your tour, and I think if you watch like our reaction video, I think at least for me, this has felt like a filler tour, like me personally, because I'm not really excited about the courses. I'm not really excited about like any of the new items. Not excited about the pipes. Not excited about ACR. Like, it's not like a non-filler tour is one that I'm super excited about all the things. But I can see how the term was coined back in the first year when with COVID, things were they were getting by with very, very meager production, I guess you could say, but it's probably because they had meager resources. And so it kind of felt like, like, oh, this is a filler tour. They're not really able to get a whole lot new here. So,
well, if you look at the year that they had, I mean, they pretty much came out the new year swinging with, Bowser's Castle. And then nothing but like triple star, like A-frame tracks and tours and whatnot. So in what you're saying is that nothing here is exciting you. So like now we're making that married of the term of filler and not exciting, and like you don't want to pull. So this is a filler tour, so therefore it's a savings tour.
Yeah, I think Raz had it good where I think you just said that it was more of like a breather tour, something to that effect, of where it's like, okay, like I'm not gonna have to be worried about playing like 2 or 3 hours every day to like make my goals, do this, do that. I've felt actually relieved, because I don't know if it's just like a summer thing or just life is transitioning, but like life is just getting crazy, and it is no longer COVID where we're just sitting around all the time with like a bunch of spare time to burn. And so like I'm actually very grateful that this is more of a breather tour, and that I'm able to do the things that I normally like to do during a tour, but don't have to spend nearly the amount of time or resources or whatever. So
well, I appreciate Pseudo standing up for me. I appreciate that, FrenzyFans Boy. And I think if this tour happened last year and it was the first cat tour, I'd be like, yeah, dude, this is a great tour. This is a tour that some people might look forward to. But I mean, I look back at every single tour this year, and I think that I do believe that this is the most filler tour of 2022. You know, a good example, Hero, you mentioned the Samurai Tour. I love the Samurai Tour. You know, maybe there weren't new tracks, but you had Shy Guy Ninja, you had Samurai Mario, you had like all these cool Armored Rider, Warrior Wagon. For me, it's about like the items that I get hyped about, and to see more reskins. I mean, we've already had a cat tour, so to have a second cat tour, I don't know. It just seems like a cop out to me. And the fact that they didn't take advantage of this baby park and name it have a baby tour, and like even if they had just a baby tour and it came out with the Goo Goo Gaga, you know, carts and stuff, like, and then maybe they had like one new baby driver, I would not have called this a filler tour. But it's just, to me, it just seems like so many new items that are reskins that look like a cop out, and it just looks like so unoriginal to me. In addition to not great, you know, special pipe, not great other things going on, packs, etc. So, no gold token pipe. There's just like a lot missing, and so for me, it seems like a filler tour. But I'm not as hyped about retro tracks. I didn't play a lot of these tracks ever, so it's nice to get like a new track. But for me, like I do believe that might be the hype for Baby Park has gone too far from the retro fans, because I don't know, like I really hope that in the original games, Baby Park was an awesome track, because to me I just don't get it. It's like NASCAR, man. I'm just not as excited about it, and I maybe I'm not alone, maybe I am, but ultimately, you know, I feel like this pipe, if someone had me write down, oh, what were all the tours of 2022, I guarantee I would forget this tour. Like this one's just going to be a brain fart. I can't even remember it because it's just, except for the fact that I have this rant, and I'm probably going to remember this rant. But yeah, that's my opinion. Anyone want to piggyback off that one way or another before we move on?
I'm sorry, but the Baby Park R version might be the worst track I've ever raced on, and the loadouts are double even worse.
They're rough.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, circling 6 laps. I mean, come on. You can have no better ideas than that.
Well, I will say this, like, because I was a huge fan of the Nintendo GameCube, so I was super excited about Baby Park coming. So I did like it, don't get me wrong. I just hope we get to see more GCN tracks. So, but I will say, like, ACR was actually really brutal this tour. I didn't like some of the tracks, you know. We had Yoshi Valley, Sky Garden, and Choco Island 2. I really don't like those tracks. So that's why I was like, you know, I'm going to take a hard pass this tour. And next tour, I'm really excited about. Hopefully it's all city tracks. That will be amazing. So
yeah. Yeah, I liked these. Again, for me, it's like, it's fun going on the new tracks. If I have to see Mario Circuit again or something, I'm gonna blow my brains out. But like being able to go on Sky Garden again. Sky Garden is a very unoriginal track, but it's like, it's fun because it's new and it's like quasi interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying though. If you don't like the tracks, you don't like the tracks. But I enjoyed grinding for those 3 days. It's probably one of my most fun ACR like little mini grinds. Guys, I want to ask before we move on to the next tour that you were just alluding to, Hero. Are there any cat or baby items you're investing in coming out of this tour?
Well, since I pulled in no pipes, I have nothing to invest in.
Same here.
Pulling off that savings tour in a perfect fashion there. I like it, guys. You know, I'm with you. I understand where, but this is 22, man. They've been guns a-blazing, and then they come out with more cats. Like, we needed that. All right. Now, does the fact that we're headed into a 2-tour city fest bury the value of these new cat items, these new baby items, or to starting out with 6 to 8 newer available tracks, like the ones you mentioned there, Hero, Sky Garden, Yoshi Valley, Mushroom Gorge, Koopa Cape? Does that hedge the city buffs that they're about to get?
They can give them all the city buffs they want. I don't care.
What's going to happen is that they're going to get buffed in cities, and everybody's going to be like, oh, look at them. They're going to be the city warriors. And then all of a sudden, they're going to be the greatest things in sliced bread because nobody pulls for them.
Absolutely.
You know that's going to happen. And everybody's going to be wishing that we went goo-goo in the pipes.
It's the most cheapest story, you know that.
What about you, Raz?
Cat Toad have like a lot of city buffs, but he also has a lot of normal tracks too. So he's pretty valuable.
Yeah, I get that. Let's talk about this Metropolitan Tour Fest thing. Hero, you have a good question here. You wanna kick us off?
Yeah, sure. So, I think one of my questions has been answered based on like the App Store and the trailer, but I'll mention it. So, with regards to next tour, do you guys believe that we will get all city tracks, including Paris 2 and 3, Amsterdam Drift, Berlin Byways 2, and London Loop 2 and 3? Now, I will add to that, it's already been confirmed, looks like Amsterdam Drift and Berlin Byways 2 will be back based on the trailer in the App Store. So all that's left is just Paris 2 and 3, and then London Loops 2 and 3. And then as a follow-up question...
Well, before you move on,
oh yeah, sorry.
Is this 100% a fact that all 36 tracks will be a city track?
No, it's not. I was just making like a suggestion, like, do you guys think we will get all city tracks?
Well, let's ask that. Do you guys think we'll have all cities?
No. There's no way for 2 straight tours all ACR will be all city. There's no
No, not 2 tours, but I think this next tour is going to be nothing, because there's enough Londons and enough what's the other one, Paris tracks, that they can round out a big chunk of the whole 36 tracks. And between,
doesn't it seem like there's the new Amsterdam variant as well?
I think there's going to be 2 variants released or something. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
That there's enough for a full city course layout, but that would be tough on ACR.
It would be tough, which would be a perfect opportunity if someone is sitting around with those tickets. If there's like a Stanley Jr. out there, that would be a great tour. Honestly, the going for city tours already is usually there's a little bit lower competition going for it, because people don't want to invest in these city tracks. So if there's ever a time to go for a top 100 and you want to zig while everyone else is zagging, going for all cup ranking during a city tour is by far the best way to go. However, you're also investing in tracks that or items that are getting a city buff, so it's tough.
Yeah. Tough call.
All right, sorry, Hero. I just want to kind of get that little conversation in before you move into question 2, which I really like, and I think is gonna go matter a lot over the next 14 days.
Yeah. So as a follow-up question, in the following tour, which is part 2 of the Metropolitan Fest, do you guys think we will get 4 city tracks? Like, are we going to go back to Vancouver Velocity, LA Laps, New York Minutes, and Sprint?
Well, since they're calling it a Metropolitan Fest, and we're getting half of the fest next week or next tour, which is featuring what I'm considering all city tracks, I'm going to assume that the second half of the fest is going to have the remaining courses plus a new city as well. I'm going to go out on that limb.
New city.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because if you look at like the Eastern Hemisphere, you got Tokyo, Singapore, and Sydney. So they could add a city in there somewhere, maybe Hong Kong or Macau or something. Or if you go North America, you have New York, LA, Vancouver, maybe Mexico City or something. That would be pretty cool. So then
or Atlanta.
Or Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta, where it's just hot and there's just a traffic jam. I'm with you, man. That'd be cool to finally get Thailand or Bangkok. I could really enjoy that. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think we'll get a similar 36 tracks or 4 cities brought back, maybe a new one? What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get a new one in the second part?
I'm hoping so, but I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
it's a tough call. It's a tough call. I mean, we can get these 4: Paris, London, Amsterdam, and Berlin this tour, and then we can get a new 4, like Hero said, or they could just do 2 and 2. I mean, it's a tough call. I don't know. I don't know how to answer it. It can go either way, I think.
I wonder if after this whole fest thing with so many city tours or like city tracks, if there isn't a paradigm shift in like trackers. I think like right now, a lot of times we filter out the cities. And if we're bombarded with a whole entire month, like 4 weeks, right? 2 tours
Well,
of like the majority or like a very good portion of it cities. I wonder if some people aren't going to be including some of these cities just so that next time around, because what's to say that they don't do it again in the fall, or that they just don't start integrating more cities all around. I mean, we all kind of say this every now and again, but I just think if we actually have like 4 straight weeks of heavy city stuff, if people start looking at those city courses and
pulling those pipes.
Blowing pipes and leveling stuff up. And
I mean, if Nintendo was smart, that's what they would do, because they ignore these things.
I think Nintendo has like a really good team, or 2 or 18 teams of engineers that are looking at data, and they can see what items are being used, what items are being pulled, like what the general trends are. And
they got a version of the VGR tracker. They know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sure they do.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough situation, because I think we all love cities, and we all love when the cities come back. It's just, you get the city buffs, and it's kind of like a no-win situation, especially for Nintendo. You got the people who are going to complain about the city buffs, and you got the people who are going to complain about the cities. So, I mean, I think
you can't please everybody.
Thing. I mean, you got to rotate them. I think it's a great thing.
But to Nintendo's credit, let's go through like some of the more recent city tour like drivers and carts, right? So you got Charging Chuck, which came out in an LA tour, right? City tour, and everyone was kind of like, but he's gotten some pretty good love. Luigi Vacation, right? Kangaroo Yoshi, Rosalina Volendam. I mean, a lot of these like really, really good items, like Combo Cruiser, like I don't know if we can, it's just now that we've gone through it and we can like look back and see. But I remember in every single one of those tours, if I did pull for anything, it was more of my contingency pull, like just in case in the future, if I need it for something, like to be able to roster like a top shelf, I'll have it. But now it's interesting seeing, especially with these most valuable item surveys that we've been doing and putting together videos, seeing not only like what's being popularly like used, but then also like I'm taking data as far as like what the most recent items that Nintendo is making available. And I don't know, it has me, kind of second guessing and going into these tours now that are cities. It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I will be interested in, this Chef Selena or whatever we end up calling her.
A lot of these city drivers, they end up being really good, but they just slowly progress with their buffs. Look at Kangaroo Yoshi, look at Ninja Shy Guy, look at Rosalina Volendam. They took a good 5-6 tours to really blossom. Like
I thought Kangaroo Yoshi just exploded though. I think he was hot like from day one.
Yeah,
but he hasn't let down. He was really strong there for a long time.
Luigi Vacation took a while to blossom.
Yes.
Too.
He did.
Yeah, especially these boomerang drivers that seem to come more along with the cities for some reason.
That is true. There can't be a back-to-back Rosalina boomerang. So
no,
I guess it's lucky.
Well, you never know.
Chuck is now starting to slowly progress, and it took him a while.
Yes.
So let's see. I think that they're going to have some value, these guys.
So, but here's the flip side of the coin: is here's a character that the majority of the community was absolutely ecstatic for. Samurai Mario. Everybody was bonkers for him.
Controversial
for him. Not one person that I know of actually leveled him up and used him on all 13 or 14 whatever tracks for that ACR. Like if they were pushing to get into like ACR 1000 or ACR 100 or even ACR 10, Samurario was not the character that they used, and he hasn't gotten any love since, until maybe now. But get this, like the one track that he's getting love on now, what is it, Baby track
Baby Part T?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guess what else is there? Pinja, who came out the same tour. And so like it's a little bit of a kick to the gut, right? Like,
Well, and honestly, I think one of the reasons why people didn't go with Mario Samurai is because so many tracks, like on the Ninja Hideaway tracks, had King Bob-omb Gold, and everyone had him at a high level. So, that was right off the start. But yeah, I mean, I think what's been really surprising is they have such an awesome driver, get terrible buffs since then. I can't blame someone for not taking them all the way up because they didn't need him that tour. But there could have been somebody that's saying, all right, he's got this one track this tour, but he hasn't, he's been getting depending on your loadout, maybe a track each tour, and then it gets taken away and whatever else. So man, he's by far the roughest start of I think any driver we've ever seen in the game.
Don't forget RMX Ghost Valley 1. He's the only top shelf driver on that track with the top skill. So he's gotten a couple of decent buffs, and I think he's coming.
You mean 1RT?
1RT? Am I mixing them up?
Yeah. Yeah, because 1R I think is with Dry Bones Gold.
The thing is Nintendo has been buffing Volendam and Vacation Luigi. I mean, all of these are boomerang drivers. And Samurario has had just as equal enough opportunity to be able to be buffed on these courses, and he's not getting them. I guess is what I'm trying. So it's the non-city ones that we're really excited about that just get left behind in the dust, essentially. And it's the ones that we're very, very tentative on. I mean, we should start learning from it, right?
Well, that's a good point. In fact, Firestorm says, how long will it take for Samurai Mario to break into the top 10? ... If ever. Do you think he will ever break into top 10? Can he research things kind of like similar to Mario's Saddle of You, where obviously Saddle of You did not get bad buffs as long into the future, but he did start off kind of rough. Do you think that he can ever break out? Can he get to 35 tracks and all of a sudden one day and, I don't know, somehow come up on top?
I mean, he could go the way of the Tux and, pop in just for a minute and disappear again. That's about it, I think.
I think there's potential. I think there's a lot of new tracks that are probably still to come, and so he's got that potential. I think
he'd have to get the top love shelf special for the next 4 or 5 tours to break into the top 10. I think.
I'd agree.
It's gonna be tough, man. But yeah, he looks awesome. I saw Sammy put some tickets on him today.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Does he even have a city track yet? I think he's got 20.
If you consider Ninja Hideaway city track,
I mean, he's got a lot of coinbox overlap, but
yeah, I think
that's what's going to kill his value.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah. Now, while we're still on the topic of cities, what I think is really important to our point about coming out of the City Fest is that Nintendo could use this as a thing. They can go one of two directions, and this I think would be a positive thing, in my opinion. I'd love to hear if you guys agree or if you think this could kill the game. But I'd love to see them do one of two things. One, either have a Metropolitan Fest every, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it might be, and kind of make it like this, Ninja Hideaway thing where it kind of comes they do this big city festival celebration fest, quarterly or biannually, and they could do that direction, or they could come out of Metropolitan Fest and just sprinkle in cities, in with every other tour. So that's two options that Nintendo could pursue to, I think, change this game and spice things up a little bit. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But would you guys prefer either of those options, or do you think those are even on the table to begin with?
I'm a fan of the cities, period. I like when they visit a new city because you get to see the new landscaping, the environment, you get the whole feel of the city. We learn about the cities. I wish they did more cities. They do call it Mario Kart Tour for a reason, not going to the desert and then other weird places. That's all in the Mario Kart universe. So if they incorporated more cities, I'd like them to see them mesh them better with the Mario Kart Tour universe tracks and have the kart theme tracks paired with the city tracks with some space in between, reoccurring quarterly, like you said. But they need more cities, add more to that whole, because how many cities they have right now? 9?
Question.
7 or 8? It's not a big number, but there's not a lot of cities, but there's a lot of cool cities they can go to. And my main question is, how did they not go to Rome yet? These two guys are pasta eating paisanos. How are they not in Rome?
Thank you. Italy.
Don't get Z started. He's gonna.
I've been dying for Italy since this game started.
I mean, that should have been like day one. Chasing the meatball around the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Drive me through the Coliseum. That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Z will go for top 10, probably.
I will go for top 1.
Yeah, and then they'll come out with a reskin of a written after a white meatball, because that's super original. Like this white sausage that we have here.
The white's worst.
They do have a pretzel glider coming out that I'm kind of excited about.
That looks sick.
Yeah,
Pretzel glider game.
I'm excited about that one. I hope that comes in a pack.
Did you see how it's held together by a pretzel stick and 2 pats of butter?
No way.
Zoom in on it. You'll see the
catch
melting
it.
butter pat on
Maybe
top
some
of the
mustard
pretzel.
or something.
I can't wait.
Nice. Kind of go back to the meta part of this. Could having back-to-back, potentially all city tours, how will this impact the meta? You know, if they do end up having, you know, 8, 12, whatever cities that they covered over the next 2 tours, how will that impact everyone who, you know, say, you know, all the Mii suits or Gold Yoshi egg or even these cats? I mean, how does that impact? Do you think we'll start to deteriorate the negative impact that we kind of associate with city tracks? I mean, or do you think this will have no impact at all?
I think I kind of touched on it earlier. Like, I wonder if, you know, after having a whole month of cities, if just within the community, we start just giving a little bit more weight, I guess, to city tours or to city tracks, at least not like ignore them as much, if that makes sense. You know, maybe even if it's just like, you know, you have an item that's on a course, but then you see that it helps you out in a city or two, then it's like, oh, okay. Like, I actually feel better because, you know, on these couple of 3 city courses, it actually takes me from a level 3 glider to like a level 6 glider, whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, these 2 tours will be the rare instance where a past potential city track has the potential to be unranked again. Usually they pair a city track with a couple old school tracks and bring them back from the light, right? This one will potentially have, since it's all cities, you know, an older, you know, fan favorite of one of the Paris or Vancouver, or not Vancouver, any of the, you know, London tracks coming back into ranked again. So it'll make those items relevant again.
Absolutely.
Usually we don't see the old city tracks back in ranked.
No, that's a good point. Which I think is what I honestly, that's the part that I feel like people have been one of the reasons why they discount city tracks so often is, you know, they're not expecting it to come back into ranked, and you know, that's fair. But you know, Mario Kart Tour is more than just ranked. You know, this is a prime example. Now, I know a lot of people save things during these tours. They save their tickets. They save their rubies. I know FrenzyFans Guy, you made a really good point about, you know, some great items coming out. So maybe people shouldn't save their rubies. But do you think you'll save your tickets? Will you, you know, maybe think twice before you invest in something more than if it was a normal tour?
It really depends. So, you know, if I'm matched up against people in ranked that have like way better loadouts, and I'm required to, you know, for the amount of time that I'm willing to put in to be able to get a certain amount of action counts, if I need to, you know, invest 10, 15 tickets, then, you know, I'll just go ahead and take the L for the week. Thank goodness we don't have to try and get to tier 80 very first anymore. And
oh my gosh.
So, but you know what they might do is they might have like some pretty good like Mii suits as the ranked rewards, which will then, you know, put a completely different, you know, spin on whether or not you use tickets. So
Please, no.
it's rough,
No.
isn't it?
No, don't have any ranked rewards, like especially for first place, please. Top 3, yes, but not top 1. Please, no.
Give me my 2,000 coins. I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what do you guys think about this this new Mii suit with the chef hat? We haven't really had like a
Themed
a tour
Mii suit.
theme Mii suit. What do you guys think about that?
As long as we get that question block Mii suit in the Mii shop, That'll be the highlight of the tour.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys.
All I see is
Slapped.
10 base points.
I feel like the color is pretty plain Jane with the, it's just kind of like grayish, kind of reminds me of the cat suit. Like, when you have other suits like, the Rosalina suit or the, even the Peach suit, I think is really cool. Well, there's a lot of attention to detail, and this one just kind of seems pretty bland with that just very simple hat.
Well, with this new Rosalina Mii suit, you know that they're going to have a Tanuki suit. Now they're going to have the penguin suit, possibly the old school frog suit and Hammer Brothers suit. So those Mii suits are coming.
All before we get a Bowser suit.
Absolutely, because they're trolling you and just you.
Just you.
Amazing, you get a DK suit before a DK.
Yep. That's
Amazing.
true.
Do you guys know what the Mii suit might be, like the other for the next wave? Because it's a bit of a mystery.
It kind of just looks like a normal hat, right?
Some people are speculating penguin.
It could
Yes,
look
no,
like
that's
a
today, and I was
penguin to me.
like-
It looks like a penguin to me.
Yeah.
It could be. It doesn't stand out as something.
It looks exactly like the other colors though, the gold, Mii, and bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah.
So like maybe they'll
It'd be
have
a
platinum or
platinum
something?
suit then, but like what would be the skill?
It's the Gold Mii Suit.
It's
The more golder Mii suit.
Yeah.
2 points.
The pink gold Mii suit.
Oh yes.
There we go.
participation trophy me. So other part about cities, we had this B-Dasher Mark II pipe, if you remember that, with the anniversary and all these cities coming back. Do you think they'll ever come back? Do you think they'll come back during this MetroFest, this Metropolitan festival thing here? That's question B. And then 3, if it did came back, would you even pull it as a third question? What do you guys think about the Mark IIs?
There are some valuable Mark IIs. The green one's very valuable. There are a couple of valuable ones. The white one's valuable. So
The cream.
well, okay, depends on your account, but
Yeah, for my account, the red would bring me value, and I have the green and the white one,
Green.
which are very valuable in my account.
I love the hitbox. I think they're great carts. Honestly,
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more value. Yeah, I would, but right now I don't know.
I think for the B Dasher Mach 2s, or excuse me, MK2s, I mean, if they're in a pack, sure, I can buy them because it's a pretty good hitbox. But if they come in a pipe or whatever, and if I have to pull, no, because they really don't do well on my account. It's only the regular B Dasher MK2 that's phenomenal in my account. So like, I think it debuted in the Mario Tour last year, so it's been really, really helpful in my account.
But they do have a big hitbox, so
They do.
You could argue, yeah, you might have like a gold cheap charger at a higher level, but if you put tickets on it or something, it's a bigger hitbox, and so you would probably, there's many cases where it would be the best card you have at the same level, all things equal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, aesthetically, I think they're the best cards. They look like Formula One cars, like so cool. But
They're big and they drive really well.
But the fact that they start with 8 city tracks is rough.
Yeah,
it's really hard to overcome that. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of playing the devil's advocate because I went really hard into those pipes. I think it was the anniversary that had like a bunch of additional packs. So I got like all the packs I possibly could. And pulled like crazy in the pipe. I even had like some saved up Saroos, which I don't normally do. And I went crazy, and I got them. I think I got 3 or 4 of them to level 3 or 4, and I even took a couple to level 6. But I don't really. I mean, I have the cream at 6. I don't really ever use it. Just I have other items that have that I have at 7. And so I debate on every once in a while, like, hey, maybe I should put this up. Maybe I should put tickets on it. And then I look at its total tracks. I'm like, these just don't look great. So I don't know. But we'll see if it comes back. But who would pull on it if it was a pipe? Another Mark II pipe.
Are you saying a Mark II pipe by itself again?
Yeah, if they brought those 2 pipes back.
Nah.
If they're all spotlights, sure.
No. Nintendo wouldn't be that nice.
I would pull a little bit, but not anything like crazy.
All right, and last Metropolitan question: what skill do you think Chef Alina will have?
I'm going with Lucky 7. It's been like what, 2 tours since we had a high-end skill driver. So at this rate, you got to have another one. Because Rosaline does not have Lucky 7 yet.
Okay.
I'll say triple banana.
She also doesn't have giant banana. So I was gonna go triple bananas because we do, but when I saw the Mii Suit had triple bananas, I steered away from that. I like giant banana because she's associated with food. The glider that's out now, I don't know what it's going to be called, the strawberry flight. That's strawberries. That's a fruit. You can associate it with fruit, banana. We got a triple banana Mii Suit coming out. So why not? Why not a triple banana? Why not a giant banana?
Yeah, I mean, bananas in my food, my pastries sounds like a great idea.
There you go.
My guess is they'll probably the triple mushroom, other triple. That sounds like much more.
Yeah, well, they don't do anything that makes sense, so I'm probably totally wrong. So.
It was supposed to be the year of the banana, so maybe the banana wins.
Dude, yes. I mean, so let me talk about that for a second, because I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm glad you brought that up, BigBroLo. I know probably there's been people like shaking their head, but last year they introduced boomerang, and we had technically, the number of drivers that we had being boomerang was lower than this year, but it changed the game, and I think that's more of what I'm referring to, is that we will get probably 3 giant banana drivers by the end of the year, Pink Shy Guy Ninja being one of them. But it's gonna, I think they're gonna put it on some tracks where it's really, really unique. And so far we've seen some unique, but we've also kind of been introduced to these different pathways you can choose from, which makes it much more confusing or tricky to kind of get those giant banana hits. But I mean, I think this is Year of Giant Banana in that it is shaking things up. It is introducing a new skill where we see tracks differently. We see the opportunity for points differently. But I think the boomerang skill is what was Lucky 7's skill last year, where we just got Lucky 7's skill every other tour, it seemed like, and we're getting that now with boomerang, and it's hard to keep up. But yeah, I personally would love giant banana. I think that would be a really smart move for Nintendo. I would want to pull on together, and I think those Rosalina fans that are very, very loyal would be rewarded with that. But any other predictions on Chef Alina?
I still say triple bananas just because the Chef Mii Suit has triple bananas. So I'm like, why not?
All right.
Since they paired him with Luigi, I thought it was going to be triple mushroom as well.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Moving into some Mii's. So we kind of talked about this a little bit. I think when these Mii Suits keep coming out, the base points continue to rise. At what point do you start thinking about putting tickets on silver or bronze? But then now I'm starting to think, like, what if King Boo Mii Suit has started to get some attention? You got the Nabbit suit, you got the DK Mii Suit. What if you were debating on putting tickets on one of those suits versus, say, someone else you've neglected, like Gold Yoshi or one of these other non-Mii Suit, but still top skill drivers? Have we seen a tipping point to where the Mii's are taking over? And at what point will we see that?
I see the tipping point sometimes on my ranked opponents, because they'll be coming in with like fully maxed out Silver Mii Suit, and I can't overcome that. So I guess that tipping point might be right about now. I just don't see myself investing in them yet, because I've invested hard into the traditional characters, and I hate to see all that investment go to waste because I'm going all in on a Mii Suit that has a fraction of a coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still investing in the main characters first. I want to see more value of those Mii suits. The only one that has that top echelon of like value is the Gold Mii Suit, which only very few have.
And even some of those that do have it, like Sammy D and myself, we haven't found the need yet, at least for like ranked or ACR goals, that warrants putting in the 14 or 22 tickets to make it that viable option. Like if we're able to get first and meet our ACR goals without using it, then we're not going to. So, but that's just how we play the game. Like everyone plays the game different. I think that people like Sammy and myself that tried to make that race to the Gold Mii race suit, the Mii racing suit, quick. We were hoping that it was going to be, like double, triple feature in ranked, like right off the bat. But it's just kind of like this slow little trickle that, yeah, if you have it and you've invested in it, it makes life easier for you. But like I haven't seen any of my opponents in ranked yet have a Gold Mii suit. So.
Well, we got all the ranked appearance before we could actually get it.
Right, exactly. Amsterdam RT. Woohoo!
The biggest troll.
Like, yeah.
I mean, for all cup ranking, I'm using it. I'm using it. I think on like 7 tracks. So and I'm loving it. But at the same point in time, I know that that's a whale problem. It's not something everyone has. But I was able to get to I think like 1.6.5 million in like 3 days thanks to the Gold Mii Suit. Like it is a difference maker, but it's not. It's for it's for the kings and queens that have that many tickets, and it's hard to cost justify. I understand that too, but it is a difference maker.
I think it was last tour I was conflicted with the decision. What you said, the King Boo Suit. It was useful in 2 tracks, and those are 2 tracks I had some serious hold in coverage, and I made a decision to evolve Pinja to Moonja. So I went all in on Pinja, and I've been loving it. No regrets. Plus, the Mii suits, to me, they sound like Warriors high on helium. So.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about Pinja? Has we're now like he's starting to kind of starting to see what he is worth. And we're in the same way that we've been kind of poking fun at Samurai Mario. We now started to kind of figure out Pinja and what his value is. I know Sammy mentioned on his little run today that both Samurai and Pinja only would give him 1 track if they took it to 6 or something along those lines. So I'm curious, what do you guys think about Pinja? Has he exceeded expectations, or there's still kind of a little bit to be wanted more?
As a level 8 owner of Pinja, I'm loving him, or her, or whatever it is.
I can't justify taking anything to 8 right now, so there's like I haven't put a ticket on him. I only have him at 4. I pulled him to 4, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that special pipe was the only special pipe I've never pulled so many times in a special pipe ever. That I call that the crack pipe because there was so many good items, and I just kept on coming back for more.
I only got 2 King Ball Bombs and just everything else. It was such a good pipe.
Yes, the odds were fantastic. I almost leveled Pinja to almost 6 when I stopped pulling. Yeah. So going to 8 wasn't as painful.
Yeah, I managed to get 0 gold King Bob-Ombs. Yeah.
How many regular King Bob-Ombs did you get?
He started off at 5, and then now he's like 2 away from 7. So I don't know what's the math on that.
6?
6, yeah, I think 6.
Yeah, he's like 2 away from 7. So
yeah, pulling King Bomb and that was like the old show No Whammies, if you remember that. Press Your Luck.
Oh yeah,
for us old people in this room.
I remember that show.
Nice. I mean, honestly, I think that was probably my favorite special pipe of the whole year, man. That was a fun one. I mean, so many good drivers. coming out of level 8, I was trying to max out my normals. I was trying to, I mean, I could take King Babam. I wasn't worried about getting things to level 8. I mean, full disclosure, I even got a couple of the ruby packs that you don't get any items with. You just get them straight up. And I took basically everything in that pipe to level 7 at least. Including I think I got the Sakura Hop Rod to like level 6 and threw a bunch of tickets at it to take it to 8. So I mean, that was probably my favorite pipe this year. I don't know. Do you guys have a special pipe that you liked more than that one?
Oh yeah, the last tour when they had the coinbox pipe, that was really, really good, honestly.
Which one? The Bowser or the Peach? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, Bowser and Peach. Honestly, I think a lot of people spent, including myself, like a lot of rubies on that pipe. It was really good, honestly.
Yeah, both were really useful for my account. So the Peach one, I got everybody at 7 there, and minimum was 6 on the other one. So it's really good.
I like the Bowser pipe too. I played in a little bit. I think all the drivers, including the gliders, are great for my account.
Sounds like those had the best special pipes of the year. Anyone want to add one to the mix?
No, those are the two.
Yeah, those were the two.
Hard to argue there. Maybe I'm by myself again. This is starting to become a trend this episode.
I'm hoping we get a gold special pipe soon. We haven't seen that at all. That would be great.
That would be.
I'm short on rubies, so let's space that out.
Yeah, I think the coinbox pipe is enough.
It's coming, man. It's always. I mean, honestly, it kind of got pretty exhausting there with all the gold pipes. Like I think it was like the end of last year, kind of trickling into 2022. With the gold bean balloons, and then the golden wings, and then another the golden pumpkin. There's just a lot of golden pipes. I'm actually really enjoying not having those, but. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It would be nice to stock up on some of those gold items, especially now that we haven't seen one really since level 8. So that's why I would love it. But yeah, man, we'll see. We got a long year ahead of us. I'm not too surprised if we don't get it. But kind of going back to it, while we're on the topic of Mii's, this be Chris asks, how often are you racing with the Mii suits? Are there other than me using the Gold Mii racing suit, I haven't used really any of the other ones at all. Are you guys using any Mii suits?
Only when there's a challenge for it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Wing 10 using a Mii racing suit. Yeah.
In this tour, I took the DK's Mii Suit 2.6, and it's really useful for the token grinding because it's got a couple of tracks. Just to change it up because it gets really boring to just do the same one over and over. And I took the question block 1 to 4 with a single cap, and so it's been useful for some of the ACR tracks.
And the question block is on the top of my investment list. I will say, I know we kind of that giant banana. I even making opponents crash using auto mode. I still walk away with somewhere between the 20 to 25 tokens every time I did that. So I think this is actually a shop that I will clear out. I've already cleared out my token pipes. I think it was Monday. So how are you guys feeling about the making opponents crash? I mean, was this a tough one to collect tokens?
Mm-hmm. Tough one for sure.
These are always tough. They take the most time. So
who else is done with the token pipe this tour? Maybe we'll ask it that way. So all right.
Oh boy.
And FrenzyFans Boy, how many do you have left?
So, the only one with a life over here.
Jump off this episode.
I actually haven't spent one token yet in the token shop. I wait till the very last day, just because I see all these horror stories of people getting locked out of their accounts. So Frenzy Fangirl and I, like just an hour before the end of the tour, we'll just go ahead and like sit together and pull pipes and we'll see who beats each other as far as like how many golds or what tickets that we get and stuff. But yeah, honestly, the token pipe is like just icing on the cake. Like all it is just extra fun stuff. Like we don't stress at all about trying to get all 8,750 50 tokens or whatever it is. Like if it comes from, just playing because it's like a coin box, or, like you find them on the track. But these ones where you have to make people crash, especially when, like, if you're resetting a lot, like that just, if you have like a good lobby and you're boomboxing, you can spend hours playing Mario Kart and get 0 tokens for it. So like, it is what it is. And we've just kind of not made the goal to get every single token pipe. So just extra fun stuff.
I just set auto mode and watch my shows and just, occasionally look over and reset, so that's the fun part.
Yeah,
I run an auto clicker.
Yeah,
auto clicker, your auto clicker.
Yeah.
For the tokens, I do. So I just set it and let it run, and it just selects the course, the driver, okay, go, tokens, collect, repeat.
You're not afraid of it just like accidentally opening up social media, just like posting all the pictures you have in your phone?
So I did see someone that accidentally leveled something up.
There's a lot of that.
3 times because they didn't have the timing right, and so it like opened up like a character and then put 2 or 3 tickets on something.
No.
Then they looked down and they're like, no.
This goes back to my Dr. Mario days where I would run my auto clicker on a spare phone for like days. And then collect like millions of in-game currency, and it would never crash it. It's all about where you place the buttons and how you place them. Yeah. Make sure whatever you place in the buttons for the clicking does not possibly interfere with anything else. As long as you do that, you can let it run. And I let Ryan run on my work desk for like 5 hours a day collecting tokens.
That's smart. Yeah. And it's just for non-iPhone, right? You can't.
Android only.
Android only.
You'd have to root Apple.
Jailbreak, yeah.
Oh man, I'm jealous of that. That sounds.
It's one to miss.
Talking about grinding, I was inspired by one of the questions we'll mention later from Jeeves. But what's your favorite? What I call pool grind, which is like mindless grinding. When like again, like if you're trying to go for a boombox ranked run, you got to get devoted time where you're just like where you're focused. Like no kids are running around. That there's all the chores are done. Like you everyone's gonna leave you alone, and you're gonna focus. But there's also a lot of just mindless grinding. And I posted 4 different options. Is it A, 200cc EXP grinding, where you're just grinding fast mode and just trying to get as much EXP as possible? New item base point grinding as option B. Option C, giant banana, lucky 7, something with a lot of hits, and you're getting a lot of tokens that way, and try to token grind. Or on the track using coinbox and just trying to get as many tokens and seeing all those tokens fly everywhere. What's your favorite pool grind?
For me, it's ACR. I don't go to the pool very often, so I can't make this question very exciting.
Yeah, I don't pool grind either. I always try and play it when I play it.
Yeah.
Try and do well.
My daughter usually go to the beach without me because I have to work in the summer. So, it's ACR. It's ACR in the dungeon. I lock the dungeon door. My daughter tries to get in. She tries to kick the door in. I don't let her in. That's where it is.
So that's your mindless run. Those are your mindless grinds.
That's it.
All right.
See, I don't have a mindless grind because I'm probably the lowest level in this room. I am 132.
Wow.
Anybody?
Wow. Okay.
There's no auto clicker for that?
No. Because when I run the auto clicker, it's on 50cc and you ain't getting XP.
Oh.
If I do it on 150cc, I learned the hard way. I went from like 90% down to like 50%. And I was like, that's like a whole week of work right there. I just lost because I'd lose and lose and lose all the races, and it just keeps on going back and back and back like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So way back in the day, it used to do that. Now it doesn't though. It'll for that first race that you either like restart or like you kill the app, whatever, it'll go down like 1% or 2, but then After that, it doesn't. So
I don't know, man. Because today when I was trying to do that item ticket, technique on Baby Park T, I lost 30% by force closing, over and over and over and over.
I wonder if it's like whether you're like what player level you're at, if it impacts that, because I noticed it a long time ago, and recently it doesn't. And
if I use the one,
if you're under like 140, 150, something like that, if it does take more.
But when I was doing the auto clicker at 150, because I would forget to change it when I set it up, I would lose so much XP. I'm like, this is getting bad. I'm like, I just went back to 0. How did this happen? Like, I was at 25 earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Like, 150 CC, it's got to be on 50. But no, I'm a very low level. I reset a lot. So, like, I get made fun of all the time in my chat room. Hit 150, man. Come on. I'm like, 3-year anniversary, maybe.
I love resetting
one
too.
Track of XP, and I don't even know what it is.
I love resetting, but there is like a point where like at the first reset it goes down substantially, and then second reset off the same track, it just goes to like a little bit less, and then I think you could reset it like 5 times, and then you actually finish the run on the 5th time, and it goes back up to where you were prior to even jumping on. So
I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't take away points, and sometimes it does. I can't figure it out. I've gotten it so bad.
I think
as well. Yeah.
I think that has to do with the track. If you've already grinded EXP, like for instance, if you're on a new track, because it basically, if it's there's like a bottom or like a fresh start on that track, you can't lose any more if you haven't gained any. So if you're resetting off of that, then when you do finish it, you're only going up. But like I remember Antelope actually made a really good point about this Baby Park T, about like what's the best way to use Pink Shy Guy Ninja, and he said to use an item ticket right from the starting block, and then close it out if you don't get a giant banana frenzy. He got 208 actions on that track by doing it that way. He crushed it. And so I was like, I want to do that, but I'm at like 80% of my level. So I just, grinded a couple tracks, leveled up to the next level, and then I just did it from there. And, obviously not losing any.
That's the safe point.
That's a safe point. So that's where I would recommend, like, hey, if you, for your point, like, hey, you're at 80, just, grind a little bit and then put it in auto clicker or kind of just time it right. But you do have to be careful doing that for sure.
Full disclosure, I only auto click the tokens. There's nothing else you can really do. And I do coin giving. I got a script for that.
Coin giving. Oh, maybe we get the Carlos to use that one.
You can only do it for the first 46. The last 3, or no, 47. The last 3 won't click it.
Oh, why is that?
Because the way I have it set up, because it's scrolling, and where the click is, the scroll doesn't hit the last 3.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. I know people still struggle giving out coins. Myself, this past week, I was a little rough. I apologize to my friends there. Other favorite mindless runs between those 4 options?
For me, it's coinbox, just because I like to practice, the spreads of the coin boxes. So that's my favorite one.
Now let me ask you about that. With the token grind, people say that the spread is different. It's more in front of you versus a non-token coin box. Do you believe that's true?
No, I don't, because in this ranked for Choco Island, there was times where I would just get nothing but red coins, and then the next one was like red coins out everywhere except in front of me. So I just think it's just random.
Are we talking about the tokens that come out of coin boxes though, or any coins?
I think I heard about it in the community. I heard people say in the community. I also noticed it was similar. True is when we're in like a token, a token contest, token shop thing where you get tokens from on the course. It does look like the spray is a little bit more in front of you versus kind of all over the place. But I don't know if that's anecdotal, and that's just kind of my experience, or it's like that's what I'm hearing, so I start to think that way. But I saw a lot of heads shaking back and forth. What are your thoughts, guys?
There's been the past 2 tokens with coins they did some tweaks because not this past one, but the one before that, I don't remember what tour it was. They were very chintzy and cheap on the tokens. There was not many green tokens coming out, and it was a grind. If you remember that, this last one, there was tokens galore. Like it was like a token fest. So the first token one they did, it was overpopulated. The second token one was very chintzy, and this last one was pretty much token fest.
Well, and you have to remember this last one was a versus tour where if you were driving a character that you were that was on your team, then you got a bonus on top of the tokens that you collected on the course because you like your team for that run ended up winning. So
Nintendo kind of stacked the deck with the tokens on that.
That same one had Bowser's Castle 2R though, which had those really nice like straightaways right after getting some boxes. And so like if you got like a coin box frenzy, I think that's when I noticed when the track lets you go straight and you like that's really your only choice is to go straight, that I would notice that there would be a bunch of those green tokens that would just come straight out ahead of you. Like, just munching them up, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
For me, though, the spray specifically for tokens is just random. I feel like it's random.
Okay. Hey, I mean,
since we're on the topic of token spray with coin boxes, has anybody ever had a single box and not pick up a coin from it? Like perfectly glided and missed every single coin.
I don't think
maybe
so.
like 5 or 6,
It
but not
feels
0.
like it. Yeah.
It's happened, and I curse myself because it's usually a good run. And I'm like, oh, sweet, I got that coin box. I'm going to maintain my combo. And I'm like, how did I miss every coin?
So I notice it most when I like ignite the coin box, but then I get hit. And so I'm sitting there and coins are like flipping out. But then everyone like comes and gets the coins or will like bump me like completely off the way. And like I just miss every single one of them because it was like the perfect storm and reset.
Yep. And your action count was like 170, climbing to that 200 plus mark, and you're like, yep.
Yeah.
Mario Karted.
Leave it to
Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Jeeves asked a similar personal preference question. Hey all, I'm curious. Who, by the way, is enjoying Disney right now. Shout out to Jeeves. Hope you're doing well. I'm curious to find out where you prefer to grind the most. For me, it's in my family room with the TV on and my cat on my lap. Nothing better. I remember asking this question in the All Cup ranking special episode I did. I asked gamer Amy and Carlos and a lot of people what their favorite place was, and everyone had a different answer. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Where's your favorite place to grind?
So I have a rocking chair right behind me, and so I usually just do that for grind, and I listen to music. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Yeah, either in my living room or my. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we were saying stuff?
I was just gonna poke fun at Hero. That sounds like super old timey. If you had some sweet tea and you had, you know, your record player on in the background and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, sweet tea. There's a record player I think to the right of me. So yeah, I'm an oldies type of guy.
Nice, Raz.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar. I have a chair as well and just play some music and just grind. It's so much fun. Yeah.
For me, it's right before I leave for work. I wake up at 4, get ready, make coffee. By 4:20 in the morning, I'm sitting in my favorite chair. I got 40 minutes of no wife, no kids, no dogs, no nothing. Just me and the phone. My best grinds come from that one chair while I'm drinking my favorite extra dark coffee.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah, Frenzy, grind. I assume that's in your cave there.
Yeah, you know,
locked door.
I already answered that.
Frenzy fanboy.
Yeah, just whatever couch we're on, watching TV. We'll just go ahead and play wherever. It's nice about being mobile, right? You can just kind of play it wherever. I guess I don't really have like a special spot.
Yeah, I think that one of my favorite parts about this game is the fact that it's mobile. And I think if it wasn't mobile, I probably wouldn't play it, to be honest with you. I was never a gamer, and so to think like I had a gaming chair with a gaming headset and like a gaming TV, like I just know my wife would probably just eat me alive. Just like, really, you're sitting in your chair, I can, you get all these things doing. Whereas like I could, I could play this in the bathroom. I could do it like while I'm waiting for the microwave. I could play this game like in the spare minutes that I have in between things. Honestly, I probably don't spend more than 15% of any grind anywhere in the same place. So, I mean, I've got some good runs in the gym in between sets. I've got this game.
That's
I travel
impressive.
for work.
That's impressive.
No, I'm serious. I don't think I have 15% in the same spot, same location.
What are you, 2-3 minutes between sets to get a run on in 2 minutes? That's pretty good.
Even on the treadmill or like on the ladder, like
No, the treadmill I can't do. I tried to do that, and I would like start to get so far back on the treadmill, it starts to squeak because it's
Usually
running
takes me
there.
an hour to get a good run.
No, I mean I got some really good runs at the gym. Yeah, man, I don't know, that for me having this game mobile is huge for me. I do have some favorite spots, like just in the bedroom, just with the TV on. But I always have to be doing something else. Like I love watching TV and watching some Netflix, having Netflix on my computer and getting some runs. But if I didn't have something going on or I listen to podcasts, some for work, like healthcare related podcasts or something where I can like let my mind think about something else other than this game. I find a lot of balance in that versus and honestly, hopefully people listen to this Kart Talk while they're playing. That's really where the birth of this came from. So anyone have a favorite type of music they like to listen to or anything unique that they associate with this game?
I just hit shuffle, but I also like to either watch it when I watch the Kart Talk or Frenzy fan videos or Carlos streams and just grind myself. So always fun.
And also like for your music stuff, for the dream music, I listen to that too.
Over and over and over again on repeat.
Oh yeah,
100 times. Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's a catchy tune. It's
I like it.
I think it's very upbeat. It's nice in the background. Anyway, this game. There's a lot to it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. I think one of the things that was a game changer for me was getting the YouTube Plus or whatever it is, the premium, where you can actually watch stuff in the background. On the iPhone, you can kind of have it at the top of your screen, and you can swipe left and just disappears, but you can still listen to it. I mean, honestly, I've listened to more FrenzyFans and Sammy D more thanks to that, because it's hard to just kind of keep TV up and again while you're just getting stuff out of the microwave and whatnot. But that was a game changer for me. So if you do like this Kart Talk, and I post all of these podcasts to Apple Podcast, to Spotify, so you can listen to it there. But if you do have maybe if you had a hard time listening to it in the past, definitely check out the YouTube Premium. It's a great, especially even the rundown and hearing it. And if you want to kind of see what we're talking about, you can kind of flip it back and forth. I assume they can do it for Android too. But good. We have one last big question, and then we'll let everyone say their parting piece here. But Sammy D, talking about YouTube, Sammy D had a second comment, and in full disclosure, I called him out on it. It was I think when I was talking about the top 10, and I was talking about how he made a dedication to not pull on special pipes this year, and I completely understood why. And mainly for him, it was about saving, and he was kind of collecting all these tickets, and then he wanted to be able to. He felt like he had to kind of pull into every special pipe, and by saying I'm not going to pull on special pipes, it actually allowed him to just not pull on any pipes for tours on end. So I understand why he did it, but my specific comment was, I think for the average player who doesn't have who hasn't been playing since day one, I think the special pipes is a great way to play catch up. It's a great way to get good bang for your buck. I also understand for Sammy, who's been a day one player, he doesn't need to pull on every special pipe, and he can hold back. So his comment though, you called me out on my special pipe comments, so I have to respond. The special pipe odds are great. That can't be argued. And those exclusive items usually have great value in the future, no doubt. I simply went for too many of them last year, like almost all of them, out of just pure FOMO, for this very reason of possible value. When it's in a spotlight, that's fine. But as someone who went through the Nabbit situation, you can't blame me for vowing never to go for those non-spotlights ever again. Non-spotlight special pipes can be that bottomless pit that baits you in and takes all your savings away like that. One YOLO here, and then another, and then another. Some singles here, a few more, etc. This is unsustainable every tour, especially with great spotlight pipes on the side. This is all I was trying to convey. I actually have most of these recent special pipe items, Ship's Wheel, Golden Wings, Cupid's Arrow, you name it, but quickly found I had too many of them. Some overlap. Can't invest in them all. I still prefer the safety of a spotlight and the occasional go for a special pipe item that you really want and love and need. Another factor is I don't really pull for dupes, especially in leveling the 6, level 7, level 8 areas. That's a luxury I don't feel I can afford. Even though I claim that I am anti-special pipe right now, there's of course a lot of nuance behind all this. Just wanted to share some other insights. So my question is, what is your general thought on special pipes? Do you prefer saving up for those new items by passing on special pipes, or do you like loading up on all the good value that comes from the clearance aisle pipe? Let's talk about special pipes. What do you guys think?
I mean, I just go with what works for my account, whether it be the special pipe, which obviously you can't argue is obviously the better value, or if it's the 100 pipe. I mean, it just depends. Whatever item works for me, whatever works for my account. It just depends what it is. I'm not against either. Obviously 50 pipes are better value wise, but again, whatever works for my account, whatever makes my account better, it's where I'm going to go. So it just depends.
Yeah, it just depends on each person's account and what type of player they are. If they're free to play, if there's no spotlights, I'd highly recommend not to pull at all. If you're a gold pass member, maybe, but and then if you're available, if it's going to help your account, definitely. And that's definitely always the better value.
I mean, that's the beauty about this game, right? Because coverage is king. So there's many ways to get coverage. There's not a set path where you have to pull this in X and Y. I don't have, the great black sail. And it's useless for me, but everybody loves that. So if that wasn't a special pipe, people might pull that. But back to everybody's agreeing with, it's all relative to what your account needs are. So if they're like the Bowser pipe, there was 6 out of there 9 items in there, right? 9 potentials, right? 6 out of the 9 items were like home runs for me. So that had great odds for me to level those items to the 7 and maybe flirt with 8, because I'm with Studfit with this, where level something up to 6 and let the game take it to 7. And if there's value in taking it to 8, then go for it. If that track doesn't do anything for you, there's no point in taking it to 8, But I'm agreeing with that aspect. So like whatever pipe that comes in there, if there's an item in that pipe, especially in the 100 pipe, where the initial value gives me at least 40 to 50% tracks of unique coverage that helps my account, go in that pipe. But every account is different. So that's the beauty about this game.
Yeah.
And I would just add, you gotta take a look at what your goals are in the game. Like, what is it you're trying to accomplish, right? Like, if you're just trying to do well in ranked, move up the tiers, get some rubies to be able to eventually pull on pipes, more power to you. Or if you're like super competitive and you're trying to get ACR 1000 for the first time, or get ACR 100 or 50 or 25. Or if you're a collector, I mean, we got Larry 98 on our channel all the time pulling pipes, and every time it's like, yeah, I just need the spotlight out of this because I I collect everything, and it's what he does. Like he that's his goal. He takes joy in doing it, and no one can fault him for it. Like no one can fault anyone for, you know, I think it does make for some good discussion, like this little banter that you and Sammy have going back and forth. And I can see both sides of the coin. There are some tours where I'm siding with you, Studfit, and other tours where I'm siding with Sammy. Like I can hear that both of your guys' points like in my head as I'm trying to decide to pull on, you know, either a special pipe or a week 2 pipe or a week 1 pipe, you know. And it just depends on what the goals are for if it's a filler tour for me, right? if it's a breather tour, or if it's, you know, something that I'm super amped for, like all of the items and all of the tracks and all of the badges and you know, that I just go all out for. So it really just comes down to what your goals are.
And your personal experiences, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep in mind also, sometimes you got to take a risk. Especially with these 50 pipes. I mean, the Golden Wings, the Cupid's Arrow, the White Bruiser, the Sakura Hop Rod, Pink Shy Guy, Ninja, the Gold Eggshell, just some examples. I mean, these are good items. These are really strong items. So sometimes you got to take a risk. Look at me with the, and Jeeves with this, the origami glider. It didn't work out, you know, but they're 9 times out of 10, these items are going to work out. So sometimes you got to take a risk. It doesn't always work, but most times it does. And they're really strong for your account most times. I think we could all look at our accounts with some of these items and say, these are items that are really strong in our account. So, you know, for me, a couple of those items that are strong for me.
Yeah.
But kind of like to Sammy's point, I don't think it's necessary to pull on every single special pipe. You know, I think that's what his overall point was. Like, it's not necessary, but if it's going to help your account, then and you have the rubies to do so, then do it.
Well, he said he doesn't pull for dupes, so therefore, like most of these special pipes, unless there's a unique new item that's, you know, not a spotlight, there's no reason for him to go to any of the special pipes.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, the special pipes, what I like about them is pulling for dupes.
Yeah.
Is, you know, as long as I'm not like hitting the ceiling of taking something to 8 and having to, you know, to feel like I'm losing a ticket that I invested in something, I'm all about pulling for dupes. I mean, what I don't like about the 100 pipes is that, you know, I go really deep in for into that pipe and get something, and I have it at level 1, and it sits at level 1 for forever, you know, and that to me, like, that's like, oh, I put so much effort into this pipe, whereas I could put those same, you know, I don't know, 200 rubies into this special pipe and maybe get, you know, that twice and something else, you know, once, and like I feel like I'm getting things to level it up much quicker. And, you know, for me, high-end tickets are like the strongest, you know, asset in the game.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I'm saving these tickets that I would be investing in, and I'd rather have, you know, a gray cat cruiser, black cat cruiser at level, you know, 4 from pulling on this pipe a number of times than, you know, getting Cat Mario and his cream cat cruiser. So in fact, I actually have been feeling it a lot this tour, because Jeeves told me I wasn't allowed to pull on the special pipe. And although I wasn't going to do like a massive pipe pull video because I really didn't want to pull on it, I was kind of going in expecting to pull it, you know, whenever I needed coins. Like, oh, I got a high-end ticket in my shop today. I need to get just like 1 pull, 2 pulls, and I can get it. And I've had to pull on, I've done those 1 or 2 pulls on a 100 pipe, and I've been not enjoying it. I have the Goo Goo Buggy at level 3 right now, thanks to Jeeves. So, it's that kind of thing where it's like for me, my account's very, very different. And I think, you know, Sammy's account, and I think what his point is like he's not pulling for dupes. He's a day 1 player. So almost no matter what the situation, he has coverage. He might have to invest in something, but he's willing to put tickets in it, and he'd rather put tickets on it than throw rubies at it to be able to level it up. So totally respect his position. It makes a lot of sense for a day 1 player. But I think what was frustrating is I was having a couple conversations with newer players, and they were like, hey, you know, should I pull on this week 1 pipe or this special pipe? I'm like, you know, you're a new player. You really need to look at these special pipes in a very unique way where, you know, you can get coverage on something you don't have coverage on because you're a new player. and this is really good value. And I think people who were new players, maybe coming from the deluxe or however they found these channels, is I don't think they knew exactly maybe some of these strategies. And so for me, it was a good opportunity to say, hey guys, for probably 80% of the players out there, I think a special pipe is probably going to be a really, really good option. But at the end of the day, it boils down to what you guys just said, which is every account's different. You got to kind of take a look at the BAM and GURBS, take a look at all the spreadsheets we have, and say, is this item valuable for you? And I've been pretty avid about this opinion, which is unless a 100 pipe has a top skill driver, it's just probably not wise to go into it. Just point blank. I think that's probably evident for 70% of the players out there. I mean, I know there's time that at the same point in time, if you do love something, like I remember FrenzyFans Boy, you really liked the Silver King last summer, and you went really, really deep to get that bad boy. And but that's the thing is twice, yes.
Because I didn't have enough tickets to take it to 7. I needed to get it twice in the pipe, and it was buried at 90 or 88 and 98 in the 2 pipes. Yep.
But that's the thing, man. That you're a Bowser fan, and it was an awesome looking cart. And so I think that there is that caveat. That's the other 25-30% where it's like, hey, if you really like that item, go for it. But you just can't love every item. You can't go for every item. And I think that's what people are suckered into, is that they have too many favorites, and it's a really tough skill. But you telling yourself, no, it's okay. I don't need this. It's not that big of a deal. And that's really, really hard for people to do. And I think really that's kind of the patient skill that everyone talks about everyone needing, is one thing that helps me is saying, would I rather have the Gray Cat Cruiser this tour, or maybe the gold pipe that comes out in a tour or two, and would I rather have the rubies now or later? And that's really the one helping factor. So I will use that point to transition to the part of the show where we make a recommendation to a new player. You just heard mine. It would be, is the rubies worth more now in this tour, or imagine a pipe even last tour or the next tour, would it be worth more in a pipe like that? So that's my, as just to give you a fresh example, that would be my recommendation to a new player. So I'd love to go around the horn and hear a piece of advice that you would give to a new player, someone who just started in the last maybe 4 to 6 months. We'll start with you, BigBroLo. Thanks again for joining us. We'll let you say bye later, but we'd love to hear your advice to a new player.
Well, thanks for having me. But big advice is, if you guys are watching this and you're new and you're trying to get your footing in this game, we talk about the BAM and GURBS, the BAM and tracker. If you don't know where that is, you need to find it. You can come down to the BAM and GURBS little Discord forum that we have. You can get that from there. I know other sites have it, FrenzyFans. Studfit has it. A lot of other places have this. It's a great, valid resource. Probably the best resource you're ever going to realize if you really are passionate about this game. Figure out what items work for you. Learn how to use the tracker. Learn how to filter out certain aspects and figure out what are key investments, because there are very limited resources you're going to get. It's going to be trickle slow feed. So you want to invest wisely into the items you do have. Regarding rubies, that's another aspect of this game. It's you got to be able to save and know when to save, and be able to have a little cushion, so when that pipe happens where that some possible skill does drop, you have to be prepared to empty the pipe if need be. Never pull 100 pipe with 200 rubies unless you just flirting with danger. I mean, that's just how it is. But use your resources wisely. There's a lot of help groups around that will be more than happy to help you along the way. And if you're passionate, there's a lot of passionate here. Everybody in this group right here is our veterans, seasoned vets in this game. So, I mean, take our advice. BAM and GURBS, balance your resources, manage your rubies. Tomorrow may never come, but today's here. So that aspect, that item is worth bundles of tickets or rubies in your account now. Go for it. And another one last piece of advice. I know I just probably hit every piece of advice on one thing, is if you buy something, because sometimes people like to buy packs, or you bought it for a reason, invest in it. Don't just buy it and let it sit on your shelf. Go for it, because it's going to pay off. BigBroLo out.
You mic drop. Love it, man. Those are really strong words, and yeah, I think that's really helpful. If you've watched any of our inventory inspection, we walk through Antelev's version of the BAM and GURBS that allows you to be able to copy and paste into to the All Cup ranking dkr.exe spreadsheet. So yeah, there are so many great resources. You make a really good point. But if you haven't already seen one of our investment inventories, which we have FrenzyFans Boy coming up on our next one. Appreciate your patience as we've had crazy schedules the last couple weeks between you and I traveling. So, but he'll be our next episode. So we'll actually, Raz, why don't we ask you, man, what piece of advice would you give to a new player?
I think it's very similar to BigBroLo's, but the one thing that I would add to, or as a first step, would be determine what type of player you're going to be. Are you going to be a meta player? Or are you going to be a player who wants to drive, with your favorite drivers only? Because some people can play the game for the meta, and some people just want to play it for the fun of it. So determine that, and then go with all the rest of the advice that BigBroLo provided.
Yeah, shout out to Draco655 who does his Mushroom Legacy. He literally only uses three drivers. Kudos to him. That's how he wants to play the game. And I think for the majority of players, yeah, I think you pick. I used this last time. Pick your pillars. Pick your favorite items, and you just pick a limited number of those, and let those be the focal point of your account. And then use the meta to fill in the gaps. I 100% agree. Really good point there. FrenzyFans Boy, what advice would you give a new player?
Yeah, so I think I kind of touched on it earlier. The only thing that's coming to mind right now is don't take the token pipe too seriously. If you have the time and it comes naturally, go ahead and get as many as you can. If you can get all of them, great. If you don't end up getting all of them, you're not any less of a player. you're gonna be just fine. So,
or if you're Android, come find me. I'll help you out.
There you go.
Yeah, and by the way, I know maybe it was 1 or 2 tours ago. We heard people were their account was basically they weren't getting access to it for the rest of that tour. Is that still happening? I didn't hear much about it last tour.
Thank goodness. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it this tour or last tour. So
better safe than sorry.
Yep.
I'm with you. But I just was curious if we had heard it, if anyone had heard anything. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Frenzy Z, what would you say, man?
I'm gonna try to be a little different. As important as mental health and taking breaks is, I don't want to stress the importance of that, but I'm going to try to go a different direction just to be different. I'm going to say just utilize different aspects of the game. If you're a strict ranked player, give ACR a try. If you've never tried multiplayer, give multiplayer a try. Hopefully one day we'll get battle mode. Give battle mode a try if it ever comes out. And even for the free-to-play players, give your free 2-week gold pass trial a try. Just get the free items and then bounce out. It doesn't mean that you're now pay to win. Just you can cancel it after 2 weeks, get the free items. Just try. It's such a great game, and it gives us so many different avenues of things we can do. And hopefully it's going to expand even more moving forward. Just try different things. I'm not a multiplayer guy at all. I actually can't stand it. So what I'm saying right now makes no sense to me. But for people who actually like other items or other avenues, just try it out. Try ACR, try ranked, go harder in ranked, try battle mode when it comes out. Just try different things. So many different things going on, the token pipe. So just get involved and try different things. That's it. I'm just trying to steer away from mental health and breaks because we've heard it over and over. And I want to stress how important that is. Don't get me wrong, but just trying to be a little different this time around. So.
Yeah, no, really, really good point. I will say I am not a multiplayer player, and I actually did not enjoy it. I hated when Kart Pro came up, and you'd have to win 3 in a row. I want to throw my phone more than I ever had during All Cup ranking. For that time, I got 2 in a row, and then somehow lost that third one. But in our server, we've been doing the member multiplayer Mondays, and honestly, it's been a blast. Everyone knows I'm probably going to end up last, but we just have a blast. I think even today, many of us were using the bomb cannon, and it was bonkers, just going at each other. But they're like General Meow just happened to see we were all in there and jumped in, and he had a blast. He's already RSVP'd for next Monday. So it's like these kind of things where it's like, we just have fun, and we're in the VC, we're all goofing with each other and having it. But there's times where we're on that second lap and we're coming out on the finish line and everyone's freaking out. Someone's hitting a lightning, someone's hitting a blue shell, and it's just pure chaos. And like that part of it has been an absolute joy, and which is it's a lot coming from a non-multiplayer player, but it's just a lot of fun. It's always refreshing to play in that way. Really good point. Hero, what would you say, man? Our bomb cannon expert in the community.
Sorry, I forgot the question. I'm dozing off a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's what piece of advice would you give to a new player? This is your 3rd episode now.
Yeah, so I guess the best advice I could give is, as a new player, just have fun with the game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't be too stressed out, and try to take advantage of the special pipes, because again, if we noticed that last tour, the special pipe consisted of lots of coinbox drivers. So those are really good to pull on if you're a new player, and I honestly think that. But yeah, just pretty much echoing to what everyone says, I completely agree. Just take advantage of the game, and like what Z said, just make sure to stay on top of your health. Make sure your mental health is your number one important thing, because grinding for ACR for top 100 it's fun, but it can be stressful at times. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Health is really important. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree. Well, all right, guys. Well, we are now at our 2 hour mark, and it's been outstanding to have you guys. Some of you guys back for a 3rd time. Some of you guys back many, many more times than that, and for some of you guys for the first time. Hopefully you enjoyed our time together. I'll let you guys say goodbye to your fans. Well, I'll start with you, Raz.
I don't know if I have any fans, but yeah, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It's totally different being on this side of the camera than, and seeing all you guys. It's a little nerve-wracking at first, but, you get real comfortable, and definitely it's just, it's a great conversation about a game we all really enjoy. So it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got through as many topics as we did, but we were pretty efficient, I think. BigBroLo, I know that you've looked forward to hopefully doing this one of these episodes one day. What'd you think, man?
It was a blast, man. Hopefully I get the invite to come back at a future date. I mean, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, talking about a really fun game that we all enjoy. I don't think I have any fans.
You got fans. I'm to be honest with you, I saw you on FrenzyFans, one of their videos a while back, and I was like, dude, is that BigBroLo? He's coming at it with the hot takes, and he's making Aussie Kart look like vanilla cardboard, man.
BigBroLo, I gotta ask, is your son gonna come down the stairs again?
Oh, but yeah, he's got more fans than I do. No, he's away at sleepaway camp for Boy Scouts for the week. So
when
he's in North Georgia.
Stairs and was creeping in the background, I don't know, I lost it. It's hilarious.
Dude, when I told him that I was going to be on a YouTube channel, he thought I was a god. I was the coolest thing ever. He's like, "You're going to be on YouTube?" He's obsessed with YouTube. He wants to have his own channel. This, I'm like, dude, you can do all that, but you got to have a topic. I'm going, "Hi, I'm BigBroLo Jr." but no,
talk about how cool you are.
Yeah, it's been a real blast. I'm just gonna give a shout out to my Donnies. You guys know who you are. Stay real. See you soon.
Love it, man. Z, you want to say goodbye to your fans now that you after 3 episodes? I think that's when you start to become a household name. Yeah,
well, I took your advice. I'm setting up the PO box because all the fan mail is starting to come in. So I'm working on that. So slowly but surely, fan mail's coming in. But No, but in all seriousness, thank you for having me on again. I have a blast every time. I love talking about the game. I love meeting new people. You guys are tremendous racers. And just talking about the game with some of the best is a true blessing for me. So I'm more than happy to just come on whenever I'm invited. And it's just a total pleasure for me. So thank you again. And hopefully I'll be in touch with you guys again. So, you know, again, thank you. Just a pleasure.
Yeah. You want to give a little shout out to your daughter too?
Again? Yeah. She's in bed again, and you know, she asked me, why is the computer set up, Dad? I'm like, well, are you going on YouTube again? Like, yeah, and it's only my third time. She's like, all right, I gotta watch it again tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, I'm on again. So
She's your biggest fan. That's where all your mail comes from.
That's cool.
Well, I'm setting up a PL box for one person, and that's the part of it. But
Nice.
Yeah, so she's excited again, and you know, we'll see. But thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got your Rangers. Hopefully,
Well,
raging, right?
I've cut ties with that at this point. I'm moving forward, so there's always next year. But it was fun. It was a real fun playoff. Very exciting. So you know, there's always next year. But thank you for your support.
Yeah, man. Hero, you want to say goodbye to your fans now that I think you maybe a special shout out to Stanler. I know he's you guys are like big fans of each other too.
Yeah, I'm big fans of everyone, honestly. So not a specific type of person that I rely on, but yeah, thanks again, Studfit, for having me on. Really appreciate it. And here's a fun fact for you: in 1 month from now, it will mark you've created a membership channel and a Discord. So I can't believe it's going to be almost a year since you've done that.
That's crazy to think about, man.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, honestly, I never thought I would have had a my own Discord server, and honestly, it's weird. You know, you hear like people having podcasts, like this is podcast number 623, and you're like, oh, okay, wow. Like this is, I mean, I'm coming up on a 1 full year of having the podcast, and I'd love to have Sammy come back on, and maybe even Tabor if he's willing to. For like our 1 full year episode, which again, you think about like, 52 weeks in a year divided by 2, it's like what, 26 episodes. It's not very many. So getting to like 600 episodes, like some of these other podcasts, like I'm probably not going to get to that point, but we've literally done a podcast every tour since we started kind of coming out with these memberships. So almost coming up on a year.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute blast with you guys. So thank you all for participating in these, and honestly, I probably have to give the biggest thanks to FrenzyFans Boy. FrenzyFans Boy and girl have been very supportive and have joined in on a number of these episodes. So always an honor. Would you like to send us off?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks again for having me on. We appreciate every time. And until the next episode, may the frenzies be forever in your favor.
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.